is everybody doing on this Thursday? I'm just going to give you all a couple of minutes to come in and I'm going to bring in my Instagram family. Bring in my Instagram family. You guys, I am live on the Wisdom app, my Wisdom app community, which is um, Karen at, I'm sorry, Karen underscore Stay True podcast. And I'm just getting ready to tune Instagram in today. You all know that I have a day off, although I am not attending class this morning. So, being that I have Thursdays off from my other job, I'm able to catch up on so much needed business work and other stuff. So, I got a head start on my classwork and all and everything, you all. So, I am good to go for this morning. And so today is what's your therapy? We have therapy conversations. Again, I wanted to change the topic around a little bit instead of therapy check-ins. What's your therapy? Because we're going to be talking about what's your therapy. What is there something that excuse me, let me turn this light on. What is it something that excuse me, you all, what is something that is your therapy? I'm gonna drink me some water right quick. And then we're gonna tune in Instagram and you'll get started. So tomorrow is Friday. Is anybody ready for the weekend? Does anybody have any plans? We got people coming in the Wisdom family, LinkedIn, YouTube, and now I've been plugging Instagram. You all, I hope you all are doing well. Definitely opening up Q&A. Want to know what your therapy is, and how do you cope with day-to-day issues, or how do you cope with issues in general. We all have something that we go to and that we do for therapy, so we want to talk about it. So let me plug in Instagram real quick, you all. Let's see. Plug in Instagram. I hope you all are well today. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I hope you all are well and see you guys. I'm committing to what I said I was going to do. Remember, you all, I had told you on Monday, on our Monday check-in, that whatever we say that we're going to do, we need to stick to it. So we are here, and I did not have class this morning, and so what better way to start the morning off by doing our therapy Thursday check-ins. Now we have Instagram tuned in. Um, we're live on LinkedIn and Wisdom. Hey, Wisdom family, I see you coming in. For Instagram followers, um, we are talking about what's your therapy, and I did say I was going to start tuning in my Instagram family so they can know what I have been doing on the Wisdom app in the Wisdom community. So, what's your therapy? Um, and what is therapy to you? What is therapy to you? I mean, how does that sound? Does therapy mean something not so good? Does it mean something bad? Does therapy mean something wrong? That something has got to be wrong with you, or you're crazy? No, because we never really talked about therapy in general. Um, and therapy does not mean you're crazy. Therapy does not mean, oh, you bad, you got a lot of bad things going on. You don't have to be ashamed of anything, just like mental health. And we have a lot of women and men in the community that are discussing mental health and coming out, talking about mental health and the things that they battle with. Because there was a lot of us that were so closed in. We were so closed minded about mental health. We were so closed minded about getting that help and opening up and talking to other people because other people needed to hear our messages. And so whether you have dealt with something severe or whether you have not dealt with anything severe, whether you have a therapist or not, and you may just have a mentor and a coach, but then that means, like we talked about with coaches versus therapy, what that means if you just have a mentor or a coach, that coach or mentor also have a therapist background. They have a therapist education, and we talked about that back in July. Happy September the 1st. By the way, we're in another month, you all, and we're getting close to December. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we need to be doing. We need to make sure that we are getting close to the goals. We need to make sure that we're getting close to the mark. First and most important thing is making sure that we get ourselves together before we tackle anything else, making sure that our mindset is together, making sure our mindset is healthy, right? Making sure everything is healthy, making sure we're taking care of self-awareness, self-acceptance. And so you all, as you know, I came in on yesterday in the Wisdom family, and also shared on other platforms that we're going to have a panel about committing to your season live on the Stay True Committed podcast. We are still gathering additional speakers. For attendees, it is a $10 entry, as I had shared on my platform yesterday, and that will be September the 14th. And we're going to be talking about self-acceptance, women in leadership, women in business. We're going to have professional leaders come forward to talk about committing to their season, what does self-acceptance look like, and some other topics. We're going to have Q&A, and guess what? Free gifts. So you all, when we talk about therapy, we talk about, building our confidence, not being ashamed of what we have been through, not being ashamed of the traumas, healing. When you think of therapy, you think of healing. I know a lot of us may have thought of therapy being the other way around, or sometimes when we hear therapy, we think about the person itself and like, wow, I wonder what's going on with them. But the thing about it is, you never really dig deep to find yourself and to find out, well, what was really going on with you, whether it wasn't whether it wasn't whether it was severe or not, or whether you had a trauma like somebody else. We always try to take to the person, and that's not what it means. It doesn't mean bad things. It just means that their life happened. There were traumas that have happened to people in the past, and people have different traumas in their life, and it comes from family generations. And so, like I said, when I think about therapy, I think about healing. You know, I think about healing from the inside out, and I'm pretty sure you all can attest to that as well. Thinking of healing from the inside out. So when I ask the question, "What's your therapy?" What do you do to keep your mental state at a level of happiness? What do you do to keep your mental state at a level of peace? What do you do to keep your mental state at a level of not being ashamed, being open, being bold, being honest? Excuse me, being honest with yourself. What do you do? What do you do to cope with what has happened? What has happened in your life, or just day-to-day life issues. Life is, like I said before, you all, you've heard me say it before, life is not easy in itself, but we have to choose life, right? We have to choose life no matter what. It's our choice to choose life. It's our choice to choose happiness. It's our choice to choose forgiveness, right? We can forgive or we cannot forgive. And if we don't forgive, then we're going to stay stuck. We're going to stay stuck, and we're going to stay in bondage. That's what I think about. I think about if I don't forgive someone, I'm gonna be stuck, and that thing or that person is going to be holding me, in bondage, and you don't want to be held and stuck in bondage. You want to be free. You want to be free from whatever has held you back. And if you don't forgive that thing, or if you don't forgive that person, and then you won't be able to move forward. And so it's so important for us to exercise these things, as we're healing. Like I said, and we could be healing from different types of issues because we're all made different. We're all unique still, but we're made different. And so, what's your therapy? Like one of my when life tries to hit, I I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, and then I have to just stop everything, and I have to take a look at, well, what is I'm doing that is not beneficial? What is I'm doing that's not of value? What am I doing too much of? What are the things that I need to be doing a lot of, and what are some of the things that I don't need to do too much of? And so sometimes it calls for me to just take a pause, and I watch. For me, I love Disney movies, and if some of you have probably heard me say this, and a lot of you probably have not heard me say this, but I love X-Men, and I love watching all of the Marvel studios, but X-Men is my favorite. Or if I'm not having a good day, I may watch Beauty and the Beast. That's my therapy go to, Disney. I will watch Disney all day. I won't watch anything that's not beneficial. I won't watch anything that I don't need to entertain, because there are some movies and there are some shows that we don't need to entertain when we're in a vulnerable state. And so when I want to pick myself up, and I want to encourage myself, I will encourage myself with inspirational scripture quotes, which is first and foremost for me. Having quiet time and meditation times, and then I'll watch things inspirational. Like I said, I'll watch. Cinderella is one of my second best favorite movies. I'll watch Cinderella. Like I said, Cinderella, Beauty Beast, X-Men. I'll watch Disney all day. And music is another form of therapy too. Um, that's something I like to do as well. Listen to music, inspirational music that uplifts my soul and my spirit. Messages and music that will speak to me, and that will really hit home, and it makes you think. Sometimes you need that extra push, you need that encouragement, because, and yes, first and foremost, we do have to learn to encourage ourselves, but we need that extra push. We really do. So what's your therapy? What does therapy look like for you? Because I know that on down the line, a lot of us have been through different things in life. Like I said, you don't have to be actually seeing a therapist, but 9 times out of 10, we have a lot more people now that have a therapist, and I think that's good. You need a therapist, you need a mentor, and you need a coach. We need all three, right? Right. But what is your go to? What are some of those things that that you have to let in? Listen, when I say this, what are some things that you have to let in, and what are some things that you don't need to let in? Because there's a lot of things that we don't need to let into our space and our environment, and we do that. And we need to start being able to identify and recognize those habits that we don't need to entertain and bring into our space. Um, in my coaching program, we have a grow model called Eliminating Eight Bad Habits. And those habits could be things that, guess what? Those habits could be things that you think are good for you. And and they're not good for you. I know I've been there. There's things where you thought, oh, it's okay for me to do, but in reality, when reality kind of sunk in, and when reality hit home, it's like, oh, so this really is not good for me. This habit right here is not good for me that I thought was habit. So I talk a lot about in my coaching program in the Grow Model. We have a full wider purpose method, and then we have a Grow Model. So after you have identified all of your whys, after you have went through the course, after you have went through the course of finding why to my purpose and why I need it. You also get an explanation even behind after you find your four whys to purpose, and then you can go to the next step, which is the grow model, and then you start to grow from your purpose, and that's what I teach. And so, um, you start to limit those. One of the characteristics, one of the sections in the grow model is eliminating 8 bad habits, because when you do your research, because this is something that you have to do on your own. When you do your research, you'll find out that the some of those 8 bad habits were some of the habits that you thought were good for you, and one of the habits that you thought that you could be that could be good for you. And when I do the homework, because we as coaches have to do the homework on ourselves. When I found out that something wasn't good for me, and I was like, it didn't really hit home until later on. It's like, oh, well, I thought this was okay for me to do, or I thought this was okay for me to say. It's about brainstorming and meditating and doing the homework, because at the end of the day, we all have homework to do, and we have to do the homework on self awareness. We have to be very diligently. We have to be very diligent and very strategic when it comes to us ourselves, when it comes to self awareness, when it comes to self acceptance, and doing the homework on us so we can grow. So, and some of you all may even be doing maybe some of these things. Maybe some of you have never even heard of that before. But that was something that I discovered some years ago, and I was like, this would be good to put into my practice, because of something that I had to learn and understand, and something that I had to conquer myself. Because it doesn't make sense for a therapist, coach, or a mentor to put out something for our clients that we have never had we've never done it, we've never experienced it, if we never went through the steps, and then how can we put it out to our clients? So it's important for us to know strategically how things and how steps have improved us over time, so we can share it with others. It's just like in my sociology class, we're learning about um, we're learning different things in our chapters, and we're learning about researchers. And one of my discussion questions was, why do research have to sample? Why does researchers think sampling is effective? And so that was one of my discussion questions. And it's kind of like what I just said about us as a coach, mentor, therapist. If we have no background, if we have never tested anything, or analyzed or collected data for anything, or any of our work or our courses or our programs, and then how can it be effective on somebody else if we've never tested? It's like I said, it's just like a researcher, right? So what's your therapy like? What are some things that you do? So I just shared some of the things that I have to help uplift me. Some of the things that I entertain. Um, and I do know to a certain extent there's a lot of things that I can't entertain, and I'm pretty sure that goes for some of you all too. So what are some of those things? And you can leave in the comments on the other platforms, or you can even come up and be a guest and share your thoughts. But if you're a little shy and you don't want to share your thoughts this morning, wherever you're tuning in from, because it is almost 9:30 Eastern time, my time. So I'm up here a little bit early, and I'm excited because I was able to fit this time in this morning. And I want to make that vow and that promise to stay committed to checking in on Thursdays as well. So what are some of the things that you all do for your therapy. Um, and if you would like to share, even after this live ends, you still can send a message, um, and or whatnot. But it's important that we take care of our health. It's important that we take care of our mind. It's important that we take care of our inner spirit. It's important. Number one, it's important to heal. It's so important to heal in areas where we're not healed, where we have fallen short at. There are some things that we haven't really recognized. And like I said, you all, I've been there. You know, there's things where I didn't really realize and recognize, and I was like, yeah, this was really not good for me. And I'm glad that I actually removed from that situation, removed from that thing, removed from that person or place. It's vital that we take care of ourselves and learn self awareness and self acceptance. And the key is to accepting yourself and not worrying about who accepts you, but accept yourself and love yourself for who you are, how far you've come, how far you've progressed, um, and all of that. And I want to share, you all. I'm going to share. I'm going to pull up some of these since we were talking about the eliminating. One of the tools that I use in the Grow Model, which is eliminating eight bad habits. I want to just share some of those with you all. I just want to break down because only you know what your eight bad habits is, but there is a tool to it, and I just want to share with you all um, the key to eliminating those eight habits. And so I'm just gonna pull it up right quick. So we also have um we got a eight life changing experience and eight eliminating bad habits. So let me just go ahead and share. I'm gonna share some details with you all. Let's see. Gonna pull it up right now. And this is, I think this is the wrong form. You guys, I actually definitely want to share this with you. Hope you all are doing well. If you have any questions for me, or like I said, want to come up while I'm looking for this, feel free to come up and share. I'm just going to bring up the form of eliminating the eight bad habits as I was talking to you all about. I can't seem to find that one. I must have it. Let me see. So I have the if I can't find that one, you all, I'm gonna pull up the eight life changing experiences because I'm not sure why it's not in there. But we also have another grow tool called Take Your Power Back. I won't I'm just giving you all some of the topics that I teach in my coaching program, Taking Your Power Back, um, 12 ways to saying no. Um, let's pull this one up since I can't find the eliminating bad habit. I probably have it stored somewhere else, but we have I have a grow tool that talks about excuses. Say no to but. Excuses say no to but. And one of these so it implies it says just as with the mind viruses mentioned previously, we all have common phrases we picked up from our families and our cultures that are nothing more than excuses, right? And we know that we have been a victim to making up excuses, you all, even when it was something that we didn't really want to share or if it was something that we know was not so good, or if it was something that we know that was bad, we didn't want to share it. So guess what? We made up excuses, and those excuses turned into a lie, right? So this is one of the tools that I teach upon and share upon. Excuses say no to but. So we picked up phrases from our families and our cultures that are nothing more than excuses. By becoming aware of them and questioning them and changing the way we view the underlying fears behind them, we can change the way we think and empower ourselves. So when you can catch yourself saying "but," it's a signal that you are about to make an excuse. So why you're not living your life the way that you want to? It's an excuse of saying I don't want to forgive because I'm still mad and I'm upset. So that's the first step of you not. So that's saying that that's a sign that you are not ready to heal because you're making up excuses and you're saying, well, I'm still mad. Well, if you're still mad, and then you need to do some inner healing work. And so um, it's like so I leave phrases and it talks about catching yourself and rephrasing the excuses with positive affirmations, like I was saying earlier, you all, about changing things around. And like I was talking about how I had to lift me up, how I had to be inspired, um, and how I needed that extra boost or post. I'm saying I needed that extra boost to lift me up. And so what you want to do is change those excuses around to positive affirmations. And so, like, for instance, I'm gonna give y'all some examples. But it's too hard. But I'll take too long. But I don't have time. Or sometimes we say, well, sometimes that but turns into, well, I'm not sure. Or you say, but it's too risky, but it's overwhelming. Or you use other phrases. So for this tool, for the excuses say no to, but what you would do is that you would phrase certain phrases that you use all the time that are excuses, and you would turn them around to positive affirmations. And so for each excuse, you would use a positive statement. And so in this particular exercise, you would brainstorm and you would think about the things that you say on a regular basis. You would think about the things that you say on a regular basis. Or you will think about something that you would have been putting off, that you have been using an excuse for, and you will change it around, and you will change it around to a positive statement. And this is homework, and these are tools for the clients to do, for you to do, for all of us to do, because this is homework that only you can do it. And nobody else can do it for you. Your coach can't do it for you, your mentor can't do it for you, your therapist can't do it for you. You have to do it. You have to be in charge of your life. And that's what healing is all about. You have to be in charge of your space, your surroundings, your environment. You're in control of who entertains you. You are in control of who you entertain and the things that you entertain that is not good for you. Um, and it's important and it's vital that we start thinking positive and stop making up excuses. Stop putting things off today and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do today. This is something positive I'm going to do today. I'm going to call so and so, and I'm going to see if I can, you know, have a nice conversation with so and so. Um, but before you do that, you've got to learn to heal so you can be able to forgive that person. So you can be able to not make up excuses, even if there's someone that's trying to come to you and share things with you or talk to you, and there were some things that maybe you two or you or your family, whoever it may be, somebody close to you have went down the wrong path back in the day, and it's time to make that right. And that person may be reaching out to you, and you could be making up excuses because you don't want to deal with it because you're still hurt. You have to do that inner healing work. You have to do that first before anything. Um, and then that's how you can get on track and move forward in life. And so I think it's so important for us to take steps into healing ourselves and just being aware of the things that we have said or done. Because sometimes we have, like I said, most times we've held up our own healing because we made so many excuses. Like the one of the exercises that I just shared with you all that I do, we made up so many excuses because we don't want to deal with things head on, and that's a problem. So you all, I hope this has really helped you on today. And again, going once, going twice. And there's anyone that would like to share or you would like to comment in the feed, even if that's after, if you have a question after, that's fine. But I always leave the stage open for anyone to come up and share your story or even to give um, a statement or tips or advice. And so I see everybody quiet on the Wisdom family. I see you all coming in. Thanks so much for joining LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. And so I hope this segment really helped you all. If you have any questions for me, feel free to send me a message on any platform that you are tuning in from. Feel free to message. Again, we will be having the live panel in Women in Leadership commitment to my season. And I am the moderator and I am also a speaker on with the other speakers. So I will be hosting that and we will be live on the Stay True Committed podcast. We will be live on Instagram, Wisdom, and LinkedIn. And we may do Facebook. So we may just have one streaming app that will have all those tools connected. Again, it is a $10 entry for attendees. There's only 30 slots available. So if you would like to attend, you would register by email and through the website. And I will send you a link for the panel. Again, it is a $10 entry. And if you desire to be a speaker and you are a woman in leadership in your own profession and you want to share different tips and details about self-acceptance, women in leadership, being accepted, how to overcome. Again, we're going to have QA. We're going to have free gifts. We're going to give everyone a chance to win a free gift from my vegan skincare line, and there will be other things included. So again, if you have questions and details about that, feel free to send me a message. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will definitely see you all next week on our Monday check-ins. Bye, and have a good day.